Challenges for Delhi are not yet over, and I have with me Flood and Irrigation Control Minister Saurabh Bharadwaj. In fact, you've seen him on the screens for over 2 or 3 days now, monitoring the restoration work on the ground. Saurabh, you made a huge allegation today that it is Haryana government which is responsible for the floods in Delhi. What do you have to back this claim?
Rupeshri, these are not allegations. These are facts based on data which comes directly from the agencies which manage Hathnikund barrage. Now, what is Hathnikund barrage? It is basically a regulator in the Yamunanagar district of Haryana, which is around 228 kilometers from this place. Now, Hathnikund barrage distributes water into three chunks. The eastern canal, which flows into Haryana and Uttar Pradesh, Saharanpur. The western canal, which comes into Delhi, Haidarpur. And the Yamuna, the stream. Now, they are duty bound to distribute it. But what we got to know from our sources, and we then sent our own team to verify this, and this is a verified fact, that since 9th of July, Haryana has not been sending water into the eastern canal which goes to UP. That means they are preventing this water to enter UP and Haryana, but they are forcing this water to enter into the prime location of Delhi. Look, Yamuna, it's here. You can see Yamuna just in front of my office. Yamuna flows right from the heart of Delhi, just next to ITO, Supreme Court, Wazirabad, Okhla, and goes on. So you cannot risk the capital of the country by sending uncounted water. And we have records of 2022 during August 9th and 10th when 4 lakh cubic water was sent, but that water was distributed into the canals. Now, another fact which all your viewers living in Delhi will appreciate, that Delhi got its maximum rains on 8th of July. We got around 153 mm rains. 9th, there was some rain in the evening, and 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th. Today is the 6th day when Delhi has not received any rain. So if we have not received any rain for last 6 days, why is it that Yamuna levels have been rising for last 5 days? This is not Delhi's rainwater. This is a water which is being pushed by Haryana through Hathnikund barrage. And you know, you are just trying to mislead people by saying no, we can't send water into Eastern Canal due to X, Y, Z reasons. But the moment we raise this issue in the media, the UP Irrigation Department has started sending water through UP, through their Eastern Canal. Then why are you manipulating it now? So this is basically a conspiracy by BJP-led governments in Central and Haryana, and this is so unfortunate, Rupeshri, that we have seen politics, we have seen, that political parties do a lot of things, to win points over each other. But this is a conspiracy against the capital of the country. This is a conspiracy against the people of this national capital. Thousands of, families have lost all their livelihood. Their homes have been destroyed. They are living in shanties now, just because a government, which is our neighboring government, decided to push so much of water.
So which government do you think was responsible? You are saying it's the Haryana government, is it?
I think it's Haryana government, but clearly with patronage from the central government. Otherwise, no state government, right under the nose of Central Water Commission, could take this risk.
Haryana Chief Minister is on record saying that it is not true and that the water could not have been diverted through the other 2 canals that you are referring to.
Then why was it diverted yesterday? If the Eastern Canal could not take water from 9th of July to 14th of July, why is it that today there is water in the Eastern Canal? It should not be there. Had there been reasons, then the reasons still stand.
You also made a point about 5 lakh cubics of water being discharged earlier from the same Hathnikund barrage to Delhi, but there were no floods. So why is it that there has been a flood this time? Is it because consecutively large volumes of water was discharged, or is it because boulders because of construction work have not been cleared on that path?
I think the reason is unregulated flow of water. That's why you have regulators. The Hathnikund barrage is basically a water regulator. You regulate the flow of river. or regulate the flow of water in the canals so that it passes safely through the cities. You did not regulate it. You chose to continuously send large volumes of water, above 3 lakh cusecs water. That means 3 lakh cubic feet per second water through Delhi consecutively for many days. Obviously, it could have been much more serious. It could have, breached our embankments. It could have entered the Supreme Court. It could have, devastated the whole Luton's Delhi. Haryana government should not have taken this risk. This is criminal.
Aam Aadmi Party Minister Atishi today has made a very serious allegation similar to the one that you made, that officers are not responding to calls of ministers. And the name that is coming up again and again is that of Ashwini Kumar.
I think whatever I and Atishi are saying, it's on record. It's all recorded on the WhatsApp groups. We have a special group which has got Atishi. I am there. You have the Chief Secretary. You have the Divisional Commissioner who is responsible for disaster management, Mr. Ashwini Kumar, who heads all the district magistrates. We have Mr. Anbarasu, PWD Secretary. We have Mr. Ashish Kundra, who is the Irrigation Flood Control Secretary. All are there on that group, and we are continuously communicating about all kind of things. And what happened on that group is that day before yesterday, on the 13th evening, the Chief Minister sent me a WhatsApp saying that this is a tweet which is going around, and it says that one of the drains regulator has been damaged and the water will soon enter the Supreme Court. I was here at this ITO barrage. I said, sir, I'll immediately reach there. Around 10 I was there. I assessed the situation. I saw the irrigation flood department engineers and laborers were trying to, create a bund using mud in the sandbags, gunny bags. But that was not enough. The water is gushing into the city. You can imagine Yamuna's water gushing into the city through a drain. You could see it in your eye, through your eyes. I could see that the ITO is already flooded. Water will soon reach the court. I at 11:9 p.m. in the night sent an SOS specifically to Mr. Ashwini Kumar on that group that we need NDRF, because I don't think IFC people can handle it, and this is very sensitive. This water will reach Luton's Delhi. This is serious. Atishi shared that this water will reach Supreme Court, and Divisional Commissioner chose to ignore. Then I again said कि no irrigation flood control cannot handle it, and one of the district magistrates said, sir, I am on the site with the administrative officers. And I said, no, you are not, because I am at the site. She thought that I am in my home and sending the WhatsApp. She didn't realize that the minister is on the site, and she's trying to mislead everyone on the group, including 2 ministers, that she is on site. She was not on site. And I said I spoke to IFC officers and they cannot handle it. Then what IFC secretary says, and Mr. Ashish, Ashwini Kumar second says, IFC can handle it. IFC will fix it in 3 hours. They said it at 11 o'clock. Then Atishi again said, no, let's call Army Engineering Wing. They are ready to help. They said in the morning that their team is available. They chose to ignore it. And through my WhatsApp group, I can see that the CS is reading every message, because in your WhatsApp group, you can open info to see who is reading what. So the Chief Secretary, Mr. Naresh Kumar, is reading all the messages, and he chose to keep quiet on the group. Was it a conspiracy against the people of Delhi? Did they want to flood the Supreme Court of India? Was it a conspiracy to embarrass the top court of the country? This is criminal. This is not negligence. This is not dereliction of duty. This is not insubordination. This is criminal conspiracy against the top court of the country. They should be prosecuted. But LG is patronizing these officers.
Would you acknowledge that the Lieutenant Governor's office also actually did its bit, because he himself was also on the ground last night?
With all with all sincerity, I'll say he did not. And I'll tell you the reason. His blue-eyed officers chose to ignore the directions of the ministers whole night. And they kept saying NDRF and engineering wing of army is not needed. But in the morning, at 11 o'clock, when LG came to the site, NDRF was available and army's engineering wing was available. Why were they needed then? If they were not needed in night, then they were not needed in the morning. And today you read all the newspapers, what is LG claiming? LG is claiming irrigation flood control could not do it. Army engineers did it. That means what I and Atishi was saying in the night, our stand gets vindicated. And LG, instead of acting against those blue-eyed officers, he's patronizing them. He has not taken any action against them because they conspired against the Supreme Court. They thought that let Supreme Court be flooded. Let this government be embarrassed.
Why would they want to do that? Why would they want to conspire against the Delhi government or people of Delhi? Forget about Delhi government, against the people of Delhi. Their own lives also would be at risk, no?
That's what the record says. Tell me one reason why NDRF and the army was not called in the night when they were available. And I am not telling you that you had to call them from their headquarters. They were available in Delhi. They were available at the request of Delhi government. We were told in the morning only that yes, army engineering regiment is available. NDRF is available.
That is on 13th morning or
13th morning, we were told in the LG office, in the DDMA meeting, they basically attended our meeting. They said that they are available. They are ready to help. But the help was not called for. Why? Because officers chose to ignore the directions of their own in-charge ministers. And no officer is available in night. Why is it that the minister is standing whole night? There is no IAS officer. Mr. Ashwini Kumar is not there. Mr. Ashish Kundra is not there. MCD commissioner is not there. But at 11 o'clock, when LG is coming to the site, there are 5 IAS officers there. Ashwini Kumar is there. Naresh Kumar, the chief secretary, is there. Ashish Kundra, irrigation flood secretary, is there. MCD commissioner Gyanesh Bharti is there. All district magistrates who are IAS officers, they are there. Why are they there? What are they doing there at 11 o'clock? They were needed at night when the minister in charge was there, alone, with 300 laborers, pushing gunny bags into the drain, using conventional means.
When is the situation in Delhi going to be normal? When do you think people who are now living in relief camps can actually go back to their houses?
I think water has started receding because for last 2 days there is around 2 lakh to 1 lakh cubic water being sent into Delhi because the water is not available in the northern India. There has been no rains. So I think for next 48 hours situation will be good. Water will recede until Haryana chooses to send more waters into Delhi.
Last question, Saurabh. What are the learning experiences for you and your government over here?
Our first learning is that you have to be on ground. If you are not on ground, officers can mislead you. And secondly, the engineering staff, the lower level officers, they have worked throughout. They have worked day and night, you know. There are officers who manipulated saying that I am on ground, but when they were not. But there are, you know, hundreds of officers of irrigation flood control, PWD, Delhi Jal Board, Army Engineering Corps, Army Engineering Regiment, NDRF officers, NDRF Jawans, you know, who were on ground whole night, whole day, 24/7. They did not even sleep. They had been working hard. And I think when ministers are on road, ministers are on ground, and your chief minister is continuously calling, like 2 days back, one of the journalists asked me, is chief minister awake? I showed him my phone. I said, look, Arvind Kejriwal is calling me every 10 minutes, asking me what happened, what happened, what happened. And while I was showing him, it just got, you know, it just got dialed. There was just one ring, and I just cut it. And I told him now he will call back because he's awake. He said, no, he would be sleeping. So at 1:30 CM called back. Within 30 seconds he called back. Saurabh, तुमने call किया? मैंने कहा नहीं नहीं, मेरी गलती से लग गया call. So that's a kind of a commitment you get from the chief minister. You know, he's a technocrat. He chases everything. He keeps up. You know, keeps us on the ground. You know, he asks us reports, and you cannot manipulate him. He will check things. He will cross check things.
You are also the health minister of Delhi. So what precautions now, or what steps will you take to prevent the outbreak of any diseases here in the national capital following the floods?
So on 11th itself, because on 8th we had a lot of rain, so on 11th only we could predict that yes, after rains there can be rise of vector-borne diseases, especially malaria, dengue and chikungunya. So we had a high-level meeting where we called MCD, NDMC, Cantonment Board, Health Department, Education Department, Irrigation Flood Control Department, Delhi Jal Board, all these departments, and we told them that this time you can have vector-borne diseases much before, because this time in Delhi it has rained in April, May, June, and the trends are showing that these vector-borne diseases will come much before than their usual cycle. So we have made a plan that all these DBDs, domestic breeding, DBCs, breeding checkers of which we call malaria inspectors, malaria officers, they will go house to house. On each house they will write the day of their visit. Senior officers above XCN have been given a roster. Every senior officer every day will do a random check of 5 houses and report if these DBCs are visiting houses or not. All the CDMOs have been asked to go on ground every day. While going to the office, they will check 5 houses randomly and report back to my office if things are happening on ground or not. Education department has been asked to give a special dengue homework every week to the kids, all kids. MCD schools, government schools, private schools. Every week they'll go to their parents, ask them to see if we have accumulated water. 1 week they will do the homework. Next week it will come back to the schools, will be checked in the school. Next week it will again be sent. So that there is a continuous cycle that kids check these breeding places in their homes. We will run a very aggressive campaign, 360-degree campaign for dengue and vector-borne diseases, so that we prevent them. We have also directed to get what we call drones. Drones for all these construction sites, which are basically unreachable for us, where we'll disinfect them through drones. So we have elaborate plans and we are ready.